Welcome back, everyone, to the Irish Furion. I am the Irish Furion. So, I'm just going to show you a few things here, things that may escape you or you may not have considered. This is plasterboard, okay? This is a plasterboard wall. I think in America it's called drywall. So, um, if you're wondering how to affix things to this wall securely and up to, I'm not really sure what the weight of these are, but because it's probably on the bag there. But these fixtures, I'll get one here. Basically, these things, these anchor plugs, um, inset plugs, inset do versions of these, but I think these are cheap ones from China. I got 100 of these for 20 euros from screwfix.ie. And um, that's what they look like. Um, that's what they look like before you insert them into the wall. But you have to drill into the wall the correct size pilot hole. So that's not the bit. By the way, that's the bit for this. Now I'm going to get onto that in a second. But you have to have the correct size, and I think it was 9mm for these. And what makes it very easy is this tool. So this is a setting tool for these little plugs. Now, what these things look like, so how it goes is, I'll try and show you I'll try and show you without bending it, but you see there, it's got that little bit that sits in there like that. Okay, and you pull back on the blue handles here, you just pull back on it, and it tightens and clips that in place. That the spring then loads up along here, the tension up to and into that, and it locks that in place. So then you can kind of hammer. You can hammer that with the back of your fist, the bottom of your fist, the soft part down there. Bang it in. No, it's plasterboard, like it's very malleable and soft, so it pushes it in, and then you just about 2.5 full squeezes of that. 2.5 of these gives you. I'll show you what it looks like now. 2.5 squeezes of that makes it look like that on the other side. So basically what it does is it deforms that part there, and they splay out like that behind the wall. So they hold it in place. And the great thing about these is that once this is in place, that part there, the washer stays on the outside, by the way. That part there has little teeth kind of lugs that bite into the outside, the part you see of the plasterboard wall, and you can undo these screws anytime you want and screw them back in again. So basically what I used those for was putting up these curtains here, curtain railings, and they're very securely held in place. They're like you can pull on them even, and actually as you can see, it's the curtain bracket itself is what bends, not the actual. That doesn't even give. So that's how securely they fix. The other thing, and that was about 12 euros. That was 20 for a bag of 100, and that was 12 from B&Q, and that was from Screwfix. So keep that in mind. Then it came to the front wall. I had to drill into, and in the front wall, it was masonry, wasn't plasterboard. It was masonry. So I had to buy a specific masonry bit because the brackets up there, there were M5 screws. These are M5 screws, which go into this wall plug. You can see the length of it there. So you need a bit that will match the raw plug. And that was only about €3, 3.50 or something like that. But a masonry bit, if it'll focus, has that little like Thor's hammer shape on the top, if you see that. Make sure you get a good one, because what I did first, I'm telling you all this, guys, because basically I think it's important for men. I'm 53 years old and I didn't know any of this, but I've had great success and I've made a few mistakes and made a few holes, filled them in with polyfiller, all the rest of it, cheap polyfiller with a spoon, filled it all in. It's all great fun. It's an adventure. But I never did any of this before, so I'm doing it now for the first time at the age of 53, and I'm learning all these things, which is fantastic. I can put up shelves anytime I want, cabinets, anything to hang off, even plasterboard, which is the weakest of materials, really. But I bought these for about $3.50, right? Do not buy anything like this. You can even see the shine off them. They're ridiculous. Like, they have no strength to them. They were $3.50 for all those, including the one that I was using. And look what happened to the one that I was using. Absolute rubbish. I've been holding on to these to show you guys what not to do. So learn from me, learn from my mistakes, and do the right thing, and buy the right bit straight away, first time. When you have, it takes ages for that to go in. I basically have a drill with hammer action. Well, I borrowed a drill from a friend who has a drill with hammer action. My drill didn't have hammer action. So anytime you ever hear that kind of real loud, like into a wall from when there's guys, construction workers or whatever, working in a inside in a flat or an apartment or whatever, and you hear that sound, that's basically a drill with a hammer action going into masonry. And you need a masonry bit to do that. And it took like about 15 minutes for me to get through. Now, we went in millimeter by millimeter, went in, and you could see the dust pouring out. But I really have to hang into it with all my weight at times. And you get little techniques, like I was up above me, so I'd move my hips in and out to kind of push my shoulders in and out as well while getting it in. And funnily enough, that had a positive effect on my back. I have 2 herniated discs into my spinal canal, and I still walk very bad and all the rest of it. But I drag my legs a lot at times. But that seemed to have a relieving effect for some reason. Anyway, that's that. They were M5s for those brackets up there. If I can get up close to those brackets, I'll show you them. You can see them there. And there's 3 of them along. And the curtains, very cheap. They were €10 for a set of 2 each one. There you go, like that. Same with those. And they're only kind of for a while placeholders. But yeah, there's three in total. And you have to go by drop. There's 54 drop, and I think it's 72. They go by inches, but you measure it yourself with your measuring tape or whatever. But that's it. That's basically it. I just wanted to show you when it came to plasterboard, and also with masonry. What has to go into masonry. When you screw that in, you see, when you use a normal Phillips screwdriver, when you screw that in using, my drill actually has a Phillips bit, and I was able to use it. But at the last, I didn't go all the way in with the drill. Only went a bit of the way, and then I used the hand Phillips screwdriver for the last bit, just to feel my way through it, without overstretching. I like to be able to feel the last bit of it, but it expands as that screw goes in. It expands that raw plug out, and that basically catches into the wall and doesn't come out so easily. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you. Any of you young guys or whatever who are, thinking about doing this kind of thing yourselves, that's a little bit of information that might clue you in along the way. This makes the world of a difference. That really does. A guy was going to sell me one of these for €34. It had a few of those in it as well, which is I'm guessing is what put the price up. But this on its own cost me €12. So I was very happy. It's the last one hanging on the shelf in B&Q, so absolutely delighted. Okay, that's it. Signing out. I have another video coming soon. Keep your eye out for that. It's to do with the Bible again. And yeah, that's it.